How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Garry's Mod, and today we're going to be taking a look at this pretty massive room that we spawn in. This is going to be a map showcase, a pretty interesting map. As you can see, there's some pretty massive structures here, except, they're not. Because instead of the structures being massive, we are instead just very small, and I don't know why I was trying to get anyone with that. It's literally in the title and thumbnail. This is Minisize Me 2.0. Now, I'm sure some of you guys out there do remember that we did take a look at a shrinking mod not too long ago. In fact, we've taken a look at quite a few of them in the past. I'll put them in the top right corner if you want to check one of them out. And that one did kind of have you adjust the amount of size you wanted, whether you wanted to be big or small. There was some variation in there, but in this case, you get one size. Now, the good thing is, you can adjust this size using console commands, which we will get to very soon, but for now, the best thing is, this is the most user-friendly shrinking mod we've seen in Garry's Mod yet. Simply press the J key by default. That's right, you don't even have to bind a key, simply press the J key, and you will now shrink. Now, the shrinking is a bit deceiving, because it looks like we're actually bigger than we might be. However, once you do start to move, which thankfully the moving does scale with your size, which is really nice to see, you start to realize we are way smaller than we initially thought. And just to compound this, check this out. So it looks like I'm pretty close to the ground, right? Well, not really. As we do approach this very dinky structure, we start to realize, oh shoot, this thing is actually massive now, when it would barely even come up to my hips. So the reason why I wanted to showcase this shrinking mod, because I know again we've done quite a few of them, is I love the perspective they give you. So right off the bat, you do get put into third person. I mean, look at this. The size is just so perfect. The way that they master the perspective to make it really feel like you are small, I'm honestly really impressed. And it's kind of funny to think how this little ledge here will now pretty much stop us dead in our tracks. Or will it? Because as you saw, we can jump pretty high. We can just barely make the jump. Now again, guys, just to give you some perspective, this is like a little ledge. I don't even have to jump to walk up this. But as we do shrink down, you're going to notice that things aren't going to be as easy as they once were. However, if you find something that's a little bit too big to jump, like say for instance this building here, which again is going to take me a very long time to get there, but like I said before, look at the perspective of this. Look at how this really does look absolutely gargantuan. This is the first shrinking mod I've seen that truly does make it feel like you are actually just this insignificant and small. Now, of course, we could never hope to get up there, but thankfully, this mod has a built-in climbing function, so if you were to go ahead and press E on any wall or surface, you can now climb it, which I just think is so cool. So now this balcony up here, which normally we could never hope to reach, now we can. And it's funny because I don't even think we could reach this as a normal size character. Let's go ahead and go back to normal. Yep. That big climb we made was just that. So I thought it'd be cool to compare us to some standard objects, ones that we are very familiar with, like this barrel here. Now again, you can see we were just next to the barrel when we shrunk, yet we had to walk so far to actually get up to it as a small character. And yeah, this thing is absolutely massive now. Although the cool thing is that you do retain your strength, your reach, and of course all the other good stuff. Now you might have also noticed, hold on a second, is collision intact? And yes it is, although it's also going to scale properly with your model. So right here we can see, even though we are nowhere near the ceiling of this makeshift building, we can still hit it with our crowbar because, well, as a normal-sized person, we could also hit that. But, oddly enough, we cannot fit into it as a normal-sized person, which, again, is pretty cool. So if there was a map that had a small crevice or something that you couldn't normally fit into, well, this mod is going to let you do that. Now, thankfully, all of your weapons will still be intact as well. You can use all of them like normal. Again, they're going to act exactly like they do when you're a normal-sized person. But I do gotta admit, seeing Odessa from this angle is definitely pretty interesting. He is an absolute giant. But the cool thing is, we can still take him out with our favorite weapons. Oh, how I've longed for this moment. Now, one thing I do like about this mod is that, well, your no-clip is going to pretty much stay the same, which can kind of create some pretty jarring effects. For instance, It looks like we didn't really climb that high, but if we were to drop, well, pay attention to the lattice floor pattern here. Look at how much bigger it got. It looked like the edge of the roof was just right in front of us, as you can see, yet when we drop, it's gonna take me a good minute to get over there. And this pond at this point should, well, might as well be an ocean for us. And if you guys are afraid of deep water, I definitely would not look at this part of the video, because even though, again, this pond normally isn't really all that deep, but, yeah, it's looking mighty deep now. Alright, console command time. So if you guys do want to have first person, type this in. It's gonna be at 0 by default. Make sure that you make it 1. And there we go. We can now experience it all in first person. But the one thing I noticed that is kind of, well, unfortunate about this, the sense of scale doesn't really seem to carry out as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, this still looks absolutely massive, but there's something about seeing your character in comparison to the world that really makes it seem like, wow, I really am small. Because the problem with this is this doesn't look all that different, well, than just no clipping to the ground like this and looking up. As you can see, it really is kind of close. In fact, if we go back to this, yeah, it's not all that different. So in my opinion, the third person mode is definitely going to be the way to go. However, there is also a command that can adjust the scale, and that's kind of interesting because I wonder just how small we can get it. Okay, I think we've gone too far. I can't even see myself. I'm gonna try to zoom in. Alright, we should be in third person. I really just can't see myself. And you know what? I'm walking right now, and it's not working, so be very careful with the scale. In fact, I'm gonna try to make it big to see if it goes the other way. And it does! So what do you know? This is not just a shrinking mod, this is also a growth mod. But the unfortunate thing is, as you can see, it was never intended to do this. We're kind of just floating above ground for no reason at all. But I'm gonna really take this to the moon and back. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, we went through the entire skybox. And I think we might have glitched the game. I really don't know how big we have gotten. Alright guys, we finally shrunk down. I don't know what happened. That was definitely unexpected. But that's pretty much it. So next time you're thinking about living large, hey, why not have everything else be large instead? As always guys, I'd love to know your thoughts down below. Let me know some of the interesting ways you would use this mod, and which maps would you use it on. Sorry guys, I couldn't be small alone, had to have Odessa here with me. Use code NecrosVideos94 to save 20% off your next G Fuel order. Guys, until next time, thanks for watching, and farewell.